recording? Hello, welcome to Tokusatsu Thursdays. I'm your host, Justin. Today, we're reviewing Tokyo Gore Police, the 2008 action horror film. That's funny, on Tubi said it was 2009. It's an hour and 15 minutes, directed by Yoshihiro Nishimura, who's a special effects guy. He worked on movies like Hell Driver 2010, Vampire Girl vs. Frankenstein Girl, Mutant Girl Squad, Meatball Machine Kodoko, and The Machine Girl, which came out the same year as this film, which I've seen that movie actually. Way lower budget than this. And this movie did not have a great budget. So this movie, it's one of those movies where I've known about for the longest time, and I never... But it just looked too gory, too gory and over the top for me, right? Which the movie stars, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Eihi Shiina as Ruka, who was the star of Audition, right? You got Yukihide Bene as the Tokyo Police chief, which he looks like Frank Miller. He kind of looks like Frank Miller, so like there's a scene where like I don't know, man, like he totally looked like Frank Miller to me. Sakaguchi's in the movie, which I even recognize him. I guess he must have been one of the villains in the movie, and one of the monsters in the movie. And you have Itsuji Itao as the key man. So this movie has been compared to Starship Troopers, though to me it felt more like a RoboCop kind of parody, right? So the story of the movie, right, it takes place in this, I don't know if you would call it like distant future, but it takes place in Japan, Tokyo to be exact, where you have where the police have been privatized. And they all wear this like samurai-looking kind of high-tech armor, right? And it's basically the police have been privatized, and it's basically kind of like Mega City, Judge Dredd, where like the cops can go around executing criminals and whatnot, right? It's very corrupt. It's very, very authoritarian, right? And the police main problem are the engineers, which are mutants that go on killing sprees, and they have high regeneration, so they can heal wounds almost instantly. And when you cut off a limb, right, when a limb comes off, they grow back a new limb that's monstrous and can be used as like a weapon. Sometimes it'll sometimes like the first engineer in the movie, he was using his chainsaw to kill people, right? And he gets his arm shot off by the police, and he grows back a new chainsaw. Chainsaw arm, right? Very similar to Chainsaw Man, that terrible manga and anime. Yeah, so that's like the first fight of the movie. Our main character, Ruka, goes off the fight. I'm wielding like a katana, right? Which the only way to kill engineers is to destroy the key, right? The key-shaped tumor inside their bodies, right? Which later you find out is the source of their powers, right? So the movie kind of starts off like, you know, it kind of felt like, you know, Blood the Last Vampire meets like over like, you know, basically a Brian Yuzna movie. If you ever seen a Brian Yuzna movie, like movies like From Beyond and Guyver, right, to be more specific. And like, you know, there's a subplot where you have this, you know, most of the engineers usually, you know, go on killing sprees. There's this one where like an engineer who's called the Key Man, who's played by Itsuji Itao, who was in an episode of Garo. He was also in that Zab Borger movie that came out like I think like a decade ago. Which I owned on DVD, lent it to a friend, and he never gave it back. Or he did, and I lost it. I don't know. But he's in a lot. He's in a lot of stuff. And yeah, he turns out to be the source of the engineers, right? He went and killed like a prostitute. Well, she was a pimp actually. He kills this middle-aged pimp, and like you have our main character Ruka dressed like a hooker, trying to like you know bait him right on a train, which she ends up getting her ass grabbed by a dude, takes him, grabs him by the wrist, takes him off the train, and is like, "Mister, molestation is wrong," and then like slices both his arms off, and you see like massive blood spray. Lots, if you're a fan of blood spray, dismemberment, gore, all that, it's in the movie. Though the quality of the special, like of the gore and the props in the movie differs. Like at some parts in the movie they look really good. They look good, you know. And at some points in the movie it looks like mannequins that they just painted red and shit. It's like the quality of the props and the special effects differ throughout the movie, right? And like, yeah, like she ends up getting into a fight with Itsuji, with the Key Man, where she cuts his face, and he pulls the top of his head off so he can grow so he can basically grow a new head where he has gun barrels for eyes, which he shoots and defeats Ruka, and implants her with one of the key tumors, which turns her into an engineer, but she doesn't transform into like, you know, an engineer to the end of the movie. There's also a subplot with her father, the mystery behind who killed her father, right? Who killed her father, and then there's like, you know, the mystery behind the engineers, right? Which they give you one explanation behind the engineers, and it's so outlandish, right? A lot of outlandish shit in the movie, including commercials, right? That play periodically throughout the film, and they even repeated one at the end of the film where they showed one of the commercials twice, right? Which was like, what the fuck was that? Was that filler? Filler for a movie that's almost 2 hours? We didn't need that, my friend. Yeah. So let's get on to what my likes and dislikes about the movie. Holy shit. Likes. I thought some of the costumes and action scenes were good. The action scenes were good. The designs for like the monsters and you know, the cop costumes were good. And there were some cool camera, you know, like camera angles, you know, shots of the movie. And I thought the you know, the main star of the film, Ruka, did a good job, right? Now to the dislikes, which, by the way, I watched this film on Tubi and I watched the English dub, right? Which the English dub, it was the same people who did the Devilman anime. Like you know, you had Dan Warren, Stephanie Shea, you know, people from Bleach. And the dub was bad, but it wasn't their fault because the acting in the movie is over the fucking top, right? Over the top. And it's very hard to dub, like, you know, when people are like, you know, like, you know, screaming over the top of their heads lines, and like, you know, it's like over exaggerating every single word and shit. You know, it's very hard to dub that shit. Right? Yeah. So so yeah, the over top acting was bad. The like the special effects and the quality of the props, you know, suffers. You know, the suffers. You know, throughout the movie, it's not always great. The locations for the movie sucked. Like the police headquarters was obviously an empty floor of of an office building, and the main cop of the film, like the guy in charge of the Tokyo Police, his office is basically like another empty, basically like the same empty floor of a building with a desk and computer, right? Desk and computer, and he also has this like gimp, quadriplegic like pet, which is supposed to be a girl, right? And looks like the actress was a girl. I looked her up, but they called it a him, and there's a blowjob scene with that. So it was like, who fucked up here? Was it the dubbers or the translators? Somebody fucked up, because that was clearly a girl, right? And the cast says it was a girl. So what the fuck was that? What was that about? Were they trying to make him gay or something? Like he was a degenerate for sure, but like I'm pretty sure he wasn't gay. And like, you know, that was pretty much that, the quadriplegic gimp that he has, who at the end of the movie fights Ruka, and she has like swords unattached of her stumps. So you got a cool fight with that there, but they also use CGI for that. And I don't know, man. The movie's one of those fucking movies where you have to watch the trailer, and if you're into that, if you like, it's a thing where if you like the trailer, you'll probably like the film. But if you watch the trailer and like, yeah, this ain't for me, dog, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, this movie's not for everybody, right? And the movie only got made because, you know, it was like because like Westerners, because apparently a lot of these over-the-top gore Japanese movies, they don't sell well in Japan, so it's like they have to get like, you know, outsider like funding to sell like on like, you know, overseas, right? But yeah, like it's the thing where like the movie is a desired taste, and it's very schlocky, right? It's one of those movies where this would have been, you know, a good anime film, like an anime OVA in like the 90s, like not exactly Genocyber, but like Angel Cop, right? Oh my god, which Angel Cop, if you haven't seen Angel Cop, watch that OVA series, but make sure to watch the uncensored subtitle, which I'm surprised they include on the Blu-ray. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. So that's it for horror tokusatsu. Next week we're gonna be reviewing a more traditional tokusatsu film. Yeah, so look forward to that. It's Golden Bat, which I wanted to review like last week, but I fucking forgot the name of the movie, and I only remembered it when I was checking out Kenny Lauderdale's channel, because, you know, he did a review, he did a video on Golden Bat, which is like one of, like, if you people know who Golden Bat is one of Japan's oldest superheroes, who like first originated from the old picture shows, which they did a parody of picture shows in this movie. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. Peace. Oh, 5 out of 10, by the way. Peace.